If you installed TicketsCAD by downloading a zip file and then tried to update it the way our other videos show, you have probably seen this. Fatal, not a Git repository. It stops before it starts. Nothing is wrong with your installation, and you did not do anything wrong. Our own videos said that if you had already installed from a zip, you could skip ahead to the update step. That was our mistake, and this video is the fix. Here is the reason, and it takes 10 seconds to understand. When you clone with Git, you get the program files plus a hidden folder called .git. That hidden folder is the part that remembers where the code came from. A zip download is just the files. There is no .git folder inside it, so when you type git pull, Git looks around, finds nothing that tells it where to pull from, and says exactly that. We are going to give your folder that missing piece. 3 things before we start. First, everything in this video is written down, with the Windows and Linux differences spelled out side by side. The link is on screen now. Open it and copy and paste from it rather than typing along with me. Second, this needs a terminal, SSH, or a terminal on the machine itself. If your web host only gives you a file manager and a browser, none of this will work. Open an issue and we will help you work out your options. And third, do this when your group is not actively dispatching. The site is briefly inconsistent while the files are replaced, and we restart the web server at the end. Now, what is safe? You do not need to reinstall, and you will not lose your data. Your config file with the database password, your encryption keys, your uploaded attachments, and any file you made yourself are all deliberately excluded from the repository, so Git leaves them exactly where they are. Your database is not touched by any of this at all. There is one exception, and I want you to hear it now rather than discover it afterwards. If you have edited a TicketsCAD program file, that edit will be put back to the official version. The 2 people usually hit are the htaccess file and, on Docker, the compose file. A database backup does not contain program files, so it cannot bring that edit back. In a moment, we take a copy of the whole folder, which can. Step 0, the right terminal in the right folder. If you are on Windows, this matters more than anything else in the video. Use Git Bash, not command prompt, and not PowerShell. The commands here are Unix commands, and command prompt does not have them, so you would fail on the very first line and have no idea why. Open File Explorer and find your TicketsCAD folder. With XAMPP, it is usually inside the XAMPP folder under htdocs. Right-click on empty space inside that folder and choose Open Git Bash here. On Windows 11, you may have to click Show More Options first. If that entry is not there at all, Git is not installed yet, and the Windows walkthrough linked at the end covers installing it. On Linux or Mac, open any terminal and change directory into the folder. Confirm you are in the right place. If it lists index.php, you are there. If it says no such file or directory, you are somewhere else, and you should not go any further until that command works. Now a second check, and this one is important. Index.php on its own is not enough. The older 3.44 version of TicketsCAD has one too, and so does its config file. But version 3 is a different application and a different repository, and these commands would replace its program files with version 4s, which would break it. So check for a file only version 4 has. If that second command says no such file or directory, stop here. You are either in the wrong folder, or you are running the older version 3. To tell which, open TicketsCAD and look at Help, then About, or look for a folder called API. Version 4 has one, and version 3 does not. If you are on version 3, this video does not apply to you. Opening an issue is the right next step. 2 quick checks. Ask Git and PHP what version they are. If Git says command not found, Git is not installed. If PHP says command not found and you are on Windows with XAMPP, that is completely normal. PHP is installed, it is just not on your path. Use its full path instead everywhere this video says PHP. Step 1. Backup. 2 things, both quick. First, the database. Type this exactly, including the 2 dashes before the word force. That word matters. Without it, this command only backs up if one is due on a schedule, and if it is not due it prints, no backup due yet, and exits as though it succeeded, having backed up nothing at all. What you want to see is, starting backup, then OK and a file name, then verified, readable archive containing schema. If instead you get could not open input file, then your install is older than version 4.1, and that tool does not exist yet, which is quite likely if you are watching this. Take the backup from inside TicketsCAD instead. Go to Settings, then the Backup and Maintenance panel, and press Download Full Backup. And if you are running under Docker, there is no PHP on your machine at all, so run that backup command inside the container, or use that same web page. Second, copy the whole folder. This is the copy that protects those program file edits, which the database backup does not cover. Copy it somewhere outside your web root, not next to your TicketsCAD folder, because that is the folder your web server publishes, and this copy contains a full database dump inside it. Your home folder is fine. On Windows, that is your user folder, and you can equally copy and paste the folder into Documents in File Explorer. Then check it actually worked. If that errors, stop and sort it out. This copy is the only thing that can bring back an edited program file. Step 2. The conversion. 4 commands. The first is git init. That starts tracking this folder with Git and creates the .git folder your zip did not come with. It may print a long block about master and default branch names. Ignore it. That is, Git being chatty about naming, it is not an error. And if your Git is already set up to call the first branch main, you will not see that block at all. That is also fine. Do not go looking for it. The second command tells Git where TicketsCAD lives. The third downloads the project's history. It prints a list of branches and tags, and that is it working. Notice it has not changed any of your own files yet. And the fourth switches your folder to the current released code. The -f matters here. Your zip's program files are not known to Git yet, so without it, Git would refuse rather than overwrite files it does not recognize. -f says, yes, replace the program files with the official ones, and that is the step that also puts back any program file you had edited. Now, how to tell it worked. Depending on your version of Git, you will see either switch to a new branch main or reset branch main. Both mean success. Rather than trying to match that text, check it properly. Run git status. You want on branch main, and your branch is up to date with origin main. You may also see a list under untracked files. Those are leftovers from your old zip that the project no longer ships. They are harmless, and they do not mean anything went wrong. The two lines that matter are the branch line and the up-to-date line. Step 3. Finish the update. The code is new, so bring the database in line with it. Run the migrations, then run the schema check. That second one should end with the words schema. OK. If it reports anything missing, run it again with --repair. If it still reports something missing after that, stop there and open an issue rather than guessing. That would be a gap in TicketsCAD, not something you did wrong. If you are running TicketsCAD under Docker, skip both of those commands. They need PHP and a database on the host, which a Docker install does not have, and they are unnecessary anyway because the container applies its own migrations when it starts. Do this instead. The build part is required because with Docker, the code is baked into the image when it is built. That one command covers the migrations and the restart together. Then reload the web server, and please do not skip this one. The conversion replaced almost every program file at once, and PHP keeps running the old code until the web server is reloaded. Skip it and the site behaves as though nothing changed, which looks exactly like the update having failed. On Windows, open the XAMPP control panel, press stop next to Apache, wait for it to go gray, then press start. No commands and no sudo. There is no sudo on Windows, and you do not need it. On Linux or a Mac, reload Apache or pfpm from the terminal, and if you ran the git commands as a different user than your web server runs as, fix the file ownership too, or new files can be unreadable and simply return not found. Last step, and it is the one that actually settles the nerves. Open TicketsCAD in your browser and log in. Your incidents, your units, your people, your settings, all still there because none of that lives in the files we just replaced. That is what tells you it worked. And if something you had customized has gone back to default, that is the program file revert I warned about, your copy is in the folder you made earlier, so copy that one file back and reload the web server again. And because a backup you do not know how to use is not really a safety net, here is the other half. Restore --list shows the backups you have. Then --file, the file name, and --yes puts it back. Without --yes, it only tells you what it would do and changes nothing. and it takes a safety copy of your current database before it writes, so even restoring the wrong file is undoable. From here on, you never do any of that again. Updating TicketsCAD is a short routine: git pull, run the migrations, and reload the web server. On Docker, it is git pull, then docker-compose up, -d --build, and nothing else. One security note. Git init creates a .git folder inside your web folder, and on a default web server, anyone on the internet can read it, which is enough to reconstruct your whole source tree. TicketsCAD now ships the rule that blocks it, so once you have pulled, you are already covered. To check, open your site's address followed by .git/config. You want not found or forbidden. If a file comes back instead, add the line on screen to your htaccess file. One last thought on why this is worth the few minutes. TicketsCAD gets fixed continuously, often the same day somebody reports a problem. With Git, you get those fixes with git pull. Without it, you are waiting for a numbered release and then unzipping a new copy over the top of your installation, which is also the most common way people accidentally overwrite their own settings file. The written guide, the place to tell us if you get stuck, and the 2 walkthroughs if Git itself is new to you, are all on screen now. We would genuinely rather hear from you than have you stuck. Thanks for watching.